Well, hello everybody. What's up, Moreland? Moreland, how you feeling today? Are you excited about a potential another hub game that you may or may not win, fairly or unfairly? Oh, you will win. I love your confidence. I love that you are not letting the last few weeks get you down and all of that. Oh my goodness, everybody, there's a Blake Everett sighting. Oh man, this is a great, great night. It is the Blake Everett. What's up, James? Hey man. James, I missed you last week. Were you here last week and I just missed you in the chat, or were you not here last week? And I just don't remember. I don't remember seeing Young Guns pop up, so I'm not real sure. Still getting over the fact that Blake Everett is here tonight. So excited about that. Got it. Okay. I didn't think that you were, but then I lose track of everybody that's checking in. So um, glad you got to help Dad build something. Was it cool? Like, did y'all get it built and is it all good or did it fall apart the next day? Kind of thing. That's what I build. I build stuff that falls apart the next day. Hey, Lily, I see you. I just haven't been able to type yet. It's a golf cornhole. Okay, hang on. Golf cornhole. Um, yeah, hmm. Eh, golf cornhole. How does that work? Golf cornhole. Like that's different than regular cornhole, right? Because I'm not real sure. Maybe I need to Google. I'll Google golf cornhole. I'm interested in what this looks like. If you add sand to the board or like a cup of water, like a water trap, that'd be kind of cool. It's like cornhole board, and you chip a golf ball. Oh, that makes a whole lot more sense than what my mind was thinking. Like you chip it. Got it. Now now I'm tracking. You can do the same thing with like a soccer ball if you make the little hole 14 times bigger than a normal cornhole hole. You can do a soccer ball. That's kind of cool. I like that idea. You should bring it to New Hub one day and let's see how good we are with it. That'd be awesome. Adam Perry. Hey, Adam Perry. Hey, while you guys are checking in tonight and we're hanging out before we do a little game, we have a sub game before the real game of who's in the room with me. You'll see me every once in a second look this direction, which is to my right. I have no idea what it is to you guys, but there is another human right here, 5-ish feet away from me, doing some monitoring. Because last week you guys were telling me that we had some issues with the sound, man. That there was like popping and all kind of static and messed up stuff. That's just unacceptable. All right, Hub is a way higher standard than to have that kind of stuff on the internet. So have an official sound monitor tonight, and I have some clues. If you guys can guess who's in the room with me, you'll win something. Probably won't get delivered for another 3 weeks because I'm still behind on my last 2 winners, but that's okay because that's how we roll here in the quarantine time. All right. Let me read the clues. You guys are already guessing. You haven't even heard the clues. So, Sarah, do you want to change your answer or do you want to like just stick with Chad? Because that would be funny. Here's the clues. It is a Calvary person. All right. It is a Calvary person. Hey, Katie Patterson, what's up? He has a biblical name, and I've already given you another hint that he is a he that's with me. So, Calvary person, biblical name. He likes Chicago stuff, meaning he may or may not have lived in Chicago for some time. He may or may not have walked the same streets that Michael Jordan like made famous. Um, and then also, every once in a minute, you'll see him on stage on Sunday. He may be playing an instrument. He may be singing. He may just be standing somewhere. Gamer 9 Smith for the win early. Philip, man, good job, Gamer 9 Smith. That's going to be Eli. Good old Eli Smith. Good job. Yeah, I got my buddy Philip with me tonight. Philip's hanging out. He's monitoring on one of the one of the five devices that I have surrounding me that you guys thankfully can't see because this looks so crazy. But he's hanging over here. I don't know if you can you type in the chat or no? I don't think it'll let you. I think it's going to tell you if you want to type in the chat and start your own channel. I don't think it's going to let you. Is it? No. I was hoping that he'd be able to like talk to you guys too while I talk to you guys, but apparently that's a big negatory. So oh well, but you guys can talk to him and he can see it. He just can't reply back to you. So you could talk all kind of smack and he can't reply back, which would be great. Which is kind of how most people treat social media anyway, right? Talk a bunch of smack and nobody can really. I'm not gonna go down that trail. Sorry. I know Philip is now learning the delay factor that he hears me in real time and then hears me again like 30 seconds later, and it's killing him. It's okay. That's what we're doing here. All right. What's up, Blake Brown? So Blake, I sent you that picture today of the KFC, and for those of you watching that are about to listen in on mine and Blake's conversation, over the summer last year, he kind of got me hooked on a couple of things from KFC. The Nashville wings, I think, or Nashville fingers or something like that. Some little chicken finger that had pickles on it and some hot sauce, and it was really good. And then they had these biscuits, these KFC biscuits, which I still think are maybe the second best biscuit out of a fast food place. And then they drizzled Cinnabon icing on top of their biscuits. Oh man, like Blake almost gave me diabetes last year, and it was so good. Well, I got super concerned because a few weeks ago I drove past that KFC and it was like stripped down to nothing. I mean, I thought they were tearing the place down, and it turns out it's just getting a massive makeover. Like it's gonna be a fancy little KFC right there on the corner. So pretty cool. So Blake, good news. It is going to be opening again pretty soon. All right, pretty soon. What's up, Bella Perry? How you doing? What's my question for tonight? Because you always come with a good question on Wednesday nights, and I've always looked forward to what are you going to ask me tonight. So I hope you came prepared because if you didn't, I'm going to be very disappointed. Yeah, no, Sid. Chick-fil-A, though they have great chicken, do not have great biscuits by themselves. All right, look, I'm going to be the only person tonight to tell you that not everything from Chick-fil-A is actually the best. All right. So just go ahead and let that bust your bubble. They're good, but they're not great at everything. But most things, actually, most things, especially drive-through service, they kill it in the drive-through, man. Like all over it. Sarah is eating McDonald's or Starbucks, I guess. That's funny. She was guessing what I mean. Oh, I see. Well, how am I supposed to know that, Sarah? You gave me no context clues, all right? Oh, never mind. If I would have paid attention to the chat, I would have read. Everyone should guess what I'm eating right now, but I don't pay attention to that stuff. Oh, that's great. Sorry, Sarah. Bella asked the Franklin, what is your favorite comedy movie? Okay, so Bella, let me just go ahead and tell you. Comedy is my least favorite genre of anything to watch or listen to. Like it is a struggle for me to watch a comedy. Okay. So just know you picked like my least favorite of all things. However, in the world of comedy movies, I really like Dumb and Dumber, and I really like what's that movie? You Can't Run Away. What's that movie with the Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail? That's that's probably like my favorites. Yeah, we gotta turn the AC off. Oh, guys, I gotta tell you this. Oh man, this is so great. You killed it. Oh no. All right. When we came in today, the AC in the hub obviously wasn't on because no one's been in here for a week. So it was like what 86 degrees in here. It wasn't terrible, but it was hot. Like it was showing up. Hey Emily, we're not having hub in this room if there's no AC kind of thing, right? Um, so I'll go over to the thermostat to go turn it on. It's dead, like straight up dead. And I was like, okay, well, let's just go get some batteries. I put some new batteries in there and nothing happened. And about that time, Philip's already here, that kind of stuff. So we were trying to figure out how do we get this thermostat thing to work? Because Adam Perry, I can't function in 86 degrees in a room with no ventilation. I can't. I can't do that, man. I really love you guys, and I appreciate y'all tuning in every Wednesday night, listening to me ramble about stuff. But like 86 degrees, I ain't wearing the right clothes for that. Okay. I mean, I got a collared shirt on, I got jeans. The only thing that's appropriate for 86 degrees are the chacos that I'm wearing. So that's pretty much it. We go to another classroom down the hall. We start stealing batteries out of remotes because none of the Xbox remotes work because you middle school kids on Wednesdays, like 4 months ago, killing them, which is fine. This is why we had them. We had them for you guys. Um, but we determined that one of the battery ports in the thermostat was a little loose. So your boy over here had the idea of, hey Philip, let's stick something in it that might conduct a little juice to see if it'll hold the battery in place. And I believe we ended up using a dime. Is that right? Yeah. So all of that to tell you, if you find that your batteries in your thermostat at home won't stay in, they get a little loose over time, just stick a dime in there and it'll work because it straight up turned the thing on. We got the place nice and cooled. We just had to turn it off because it got really cold. And so, yeah, anyway, all of that to tell you, Sarah's eating some garlic bread and stuff, and we used a dime to make the AC turn on. That was great. No, it's not safe, Eli. But I mean, not that I'm trying to promote a fire hazard in here, but also I wouldn't be disappointed if we were able to salvage the whole building. I don't want anything negative to happen to the school, but if it gets us in New Hub faster, I'm okay with some things. Surely I'm joking, right? I'm not promoting any of that. Hey guys, I got 701. Let's do this. Appreciate you guys tuning in. It's great to see some of you hanging out with us. I need someone to get a Carson on the stream tonight. All right. I don't care which Carson. Take your pick. There's like 4 of them, but let's get a Carson on tonight. Let's see if somebody can get some more middle school dudes hanging out. So Eli or I don't know, that somebody, Blake, Everett, start texting some dudes. See if you can't get some people on tonight. That'd be awesome. James, start texting some people. We're going to do a little game before we get into our Bible study. So I want to give you guys plenty of time right now. If you want to text somebody, say, hey, hop on the live stream. We just went live. He's, finally stopped rambling about stuff that don't matter. We're about to do our game for tonight. You got time to get somebody to watch with you because in just a little bit, we're going to continue our series on atypical, where we're looking through families in the Bible that were just, we would say that they're normal just like us, but really we're trying to point out the things that separated them and separate them from families today. So we're calling them atypical families. We got a good one to look at tonight about 2 siblings that really just had it for each other. So we're going to get to that, which means you got plenty of time to text a friend, get them to watch, hang out with us tonight. It'd be really cool. Yeah, get Quintard on, man. That'd be awesome. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a little game tonight. Since we're in the spirit of everybody's wearing a mask and it's really hard to go anywhere without seeing somebody with a mask on, we're going to play a little game called What's Behind the Mask. And it's multiple choice. All you got to do is just take your guess. This would be a fun little thing to do in the chat. Eli Smith, I don't think there's any way for me to have fixed this game to my advantage, but the name of the game is Moreland Can't Win, so we're going to try our best to see how we can stack the odds in my favor so that she doesn't win. All right, just kidding. Here's the first one. This is just kind of funny. All right, what's behind the mask of Chris Pratt here? What's the status of his mouth behind the mask? A is closed, B is open, and C is open with the tongue out. Just take your pick, A, B, or C. What's behind the mask? Sarah Osorio says A. Oh, Chris Yarbrough, what's up, my man? He says C. We got a couple of, let's see, Sydney Smith says B. I'm seeing a couple more A's come in. I see some C. Adam doesn't go A, B, or C. He just types the whole word in, which we should throw his answer out because of that. But I like what he's doing. All right. I see some good answers coming in. Let's see what we got. Chris Pratt's mouth is. It is closed, smug face. I love it. If you guess letter A, keep score at home. Keep it in the chat below. All of you with letter A, you get a point. Everybody else, you get nothing. Here's the next one. Which Chris will you find behind this mask? Which Chris is that? Is it Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, or Chris Pine? Which one is it? Which Chris behind this mask? A, B, or C? I'm seeing lots of C's come in pretty confidently straight out the gate. Most of them are girls, but that's okay. James right there with a confident C because he went all caps. You can tell, Philip, which people are more confident than others by whether they capitalize, or like Emily, who put a question mark by her. She's like, I'm going to go C. It would be kind of like this, like C. Kind of like that. Well, hey, what's up, Jack? Glad you're here tonight. Which Chris is this? It is Chris Pine. And guys, I have no clue who that is. Here is our next question. Who's behind this mask? This is going to be Kanye, my man, my boy. I can't wait for him to drop his next album. I don't know if he's done that yet or not. Maybe he hasn't. I missed it. This whole quarantine's messed me up. What's he doing behind his mask? All right. Is he snarling? Is he straight-faced? Or is he smiling? Now, Eli Smith, I know that you're going to debate me on the difference between snarling and straight face, and I'm not taking that bait tonight, all right? Because I don't know if I can tell the difference right off. What's a snarl versus a straight face? They're kind of the same, but not quite the same. What do you think Kanye's doing behind the mask? A, B, or C? I'm seeing a lot of answer for straight face. I'm seeing a lot of that. Adam says Kanye rarely smiles, which means Adam watches Kanye a lot to know this characteristic about him. So Adam, you're surprising me with your deep reaches into the Hollywood world. I'm impressed by that. Kanye's doing straight face, man. He's all business all the time, right? He is always just straight face. I can't do a straight face. I start laughing and my beard makes my face look all weird anyway. Here's next, Lady Gaga. Glad that she's looking somewhat normal in this picture right here. What is she doing behind the mask? Is she doing, as I call it, the duck face? All right. Is she puckering? Is she gasping? Or is she smirking? All right. What do you think the old Lady Gaga's doing? Lots of A answers, lots of duck face answers. Maybe you've seen this picture before. I have no idea. What's she doing? While we're waiting for you guys to chime in, I've often wondered now, with everybody wearing masks and stuff, are we going to have some issues down the road of like, I want to stereotype you based on what kind of mask you're wearing. Like, oh, you just went bandana, so you're not as good as this person who's got like fancy homemade. Like I'm having my own internal fun of, is this going to create a new wave of poor stereotypes just based on like what type of mask you're wearing? This is going to be not good for folks. All right, here we go. Let's see what the old Lady Gaga's doing behind her mask. Duck face. That's not quite a good duck face, so we'll just call that puckering. This is a weird word for me to say, and I don't like it. Chris says, no, I'm the other stereotype. I like that, Chris. Here we go. Here's the next one. Jennifer Lawrence. What's the status of her mouth behind this mask? Is it closed? Is it open? Or is it open with the tongue out? That seems to be the popular thing amongst people's today, is to take the pictures on the Instagram with their tongue out. And I'm not sure what you're going to think of yourself when you're an adult and you look back at those pictures. You're going to think you look real dumb, but that's okay. We love you anyway, and we still like that picture. So what do we do with the Jennifer Lawrence behind the mask? Closed, open, or open tongue out? Ooh, Eli, sorry, man. I got to take your first answer, and I'm not going to allow you to be not a oops. Nope. You know how I roll, man. First answer goes. Not. You don't get any. Nope. No, Eli. No, sir. Not letting you do that. If I wouldn't let your cousin do that, when I clearly knew what she meant the first time, but sorry. not letting you skate by there with that. I'm seeing not many C's for this one, except for Adam. Of course, Adam would put that in there as soon as I say it. Here we go. Jennifer Lawrence is open with the tongue out. There it is. Yep. All right, we got a couple more of these. This is fun because I often wonder what people who are driving by themselves in their car with their mask on are doing behind their mask. And this is a fun little game. Brad Pitt, what's he going to be doing behind his face mask? Is he going to be clean shaven? Is he going to have a beard? Or is he going with the mustache? That's a great question. What year is this picture taken? There should be some context clues. Hairstyle, context clue 1. The advertising behind him, context clue 2. The weird little gray thing that he's wearing, it's not quite a hoodie, but not real sure. Context clue 3. And I can't tell if Jennifer Aniston's cropped out or not. So that's going to be context clue 4. And so here we go. What's he got? Clean shave, beard, or mustache? Let's see what we got going on. I'm going to look in chat. See lots of C's, lots of mustaches. I see a couple of B for beard, but Moreland throwing the question mark in there. Adam Perry says clean shave. Here we go. If you hadn't gotten your answer in yet, it was a mustache. That one time in his life that he did that. Yeah, it's Brad Pitt though. He can have a mustache if he wants a mustache. Let's be honest. He can do that. That's okay. I can't have a mustache. Can't have it. All right, here we go. Here's the next one. How many teeth is this kid going to be missing? I should have put Austin's picture in this because that would have been great. But when he takes his mask off, how many teeth are missing? Is it 1, 2, or 4? All right. 1, 2, or 4 teeth missing on this smiling little kid right here. This is going to be fun. Let's see. Got a couple of you guys that are saying 2. I see Emily with the 4. That'd be a lot of teeth missing. Blake with the 4. I thought I saw somebody with a 1. Yeah, Chris Yarbrough up there with a 1. Who else we got? Clearly, Chris, you are not in the majority with the 1, but that's okay. You're really going against the grain. That's how you win these games, man. You got to do what nobody else is doing. So Bella says, I really want him to be missing 4. So I'm going to say C because that's what I want. All right, here we go. How many teeth is this kid missing? 2. Look at that. Oh, 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom. If this were Austin's face, it would be a lot. That kid has lost so many teeth. It's unreal. I don't know how many he's missing right now. It's like 3 or 4 or something like that. And man, I love my kid. All right, look, you guys know I love Austin. That boy needs some braces, something bad. Like he's only in kindergarten, I know, but I'm already like, I gotta get this kid married one day. So I'm gonna start saving up now because he's gonna need some braces because them things are rough. Things are rough. That's okay. We love them anyway. Hey, what emoji is that? Let's see how good some of you guys are. Just judging by the eyes, what kind of emoji mouth is this one gonna have? Straight face, half frown, or no mouth? Which one is it? Let's see. Lily says, I'm killing this game. Yeah. Make sure y'all keeping score at home because I know I haven't, but I will go back in this chat and look if I have to. All right. Which emoji is this? I got a couple of straight face. I see a couple of no mouth. I see a little bit of everything. You guys are taking your best guess. I'm going to give you a chance to get this in. Hey, Carson, we got a Carson. We got a Carson on the stream tonight. Love it. Let's see. I'm ready to show my answer. If you guys think you got them all in, straight face, half frown, no mouth. The answer is the no mouth. Oh, Jack, you went with C first, so we're gonna let you have that point. All right, we're gonna let you have that point. All right, I think there's one more. I think this is the last one. Look at that dog. Look at that Stilly dog. Is that a lab? Is that what that dog's called? I think he's called a lab. If you pull that mask off that dog after he bites you, what are you going to find in his mouth? A biscuit, a bird, or a pacifier? What you going to find? Biscuit, bird, or pacifier? So here we go. I think this is the last one. I really have no idea. I have no clue. I should know this, but I'm really not sure. B, please be B. I know, man. If there was a bird in that dog's mouth, that'd be awesome. And then YouTube would strike this video, and then we wouldn't like have it posted afterwards because that'd be something. I don't know. They'd make up something. Hey, funny thing, we've had a couple of channel strikes already, only because of music that we had playing in the background, unbeknownst to us. So that's pretty funny. Like, really, really, YouTube, you're gonna strike us for that? But it's okay. We got it cleared up. It's no big deal. It's all fine. Let's see. Jack says, well, black labs are really good for hunting dogs, but it's not going to be a bird. So C. Okay. Here, last chance to throw your answer. If you hadn't got it in there, what's behind this dog's mask? Sarah Osorio says A. And Sarah, guess what? You're wrong. It is C. It's a pacifier. And, I thought it was photoshopped. I think it's real. I thought it was Photoshop the first time I saw it, but then the more I look at it, I'm like, nope, that dog's he really has pacifier in his mouth. That's real. You can't Photoshop that stuff. Yeah, you can't Photoshop that. Yes, Sarah. See, I'm trying to treat this as if you were actually in the room like I would on a Wednesday night. I would call you out. And so, oh no, this is the last one. Look at there. See, look, some of you have a chance to redeem yourself. So Sarah, you can go out with a winning answer. If we took the face mask off this burger, what topping is going to be missing? Is it going to be mayo? Is it going to be bacon? Or is it going to be the onion? All right. What topping is missing from this burger. Now, in the spirit of this game tonight, I had a burger that looked a lot like this, and I was not missing any toppings. I enjoyed it in its full glory, and it was fantastic. Um, so what topping is missing from this burger? And bonus point, if you were to guess what fast food place this burger came from, just by the context clue of the bun top, where do you get sesame seed buns? Blake says it's a Whopper. That's not the right answer, Blake. But Chris says BK, which is the right answer as far as where this would come from. So, Blake, I knew what you were trying to do, but you were wrong. But it's okay. I'm just kidding. You guys are all right. Yeah, Burger King, man. It's about the only place you can get a sesame seed bun. I don't know anybody else that does that. That's like a normal fast food place. The quarter pounder from the McDonald's has a sesame seed bun. That's what I had today. And didn't even notice it. Well, how about that? Well, just kidding. Here we go. Here's the answer. What's missing? What topping is missing? The most important one, the bacon. How do you put everything else on that, especially that nasty ketchup, but you leave the bacon off? That's awful. It's so bad. I can't do burgers with ketchup. I can't. Just can't do that. But mayonnaise all over it. So good. So good. Hey guys, that was just a little fun game to make fun of what we're going through right now, because I mean, the only way to continue surviving through this quarantine is to laugh, and that's okay. Um, I'm not going to laugh at you if I see you out in public wearing a mask, but I expect you to laugh at me if you ever see me out in public wearing a mask. And please, please make fun of me if you see me driving by myself in my truck while wearing a mask. I would expect you to do that and take pictures of that and put it all over your Instagram. All right. But anyway, hey guys, look, just want to let you know, try to say this every week just to make sure you keep hearing this come out of my mouth, that one, all of us, all of our hub leaders, we miss you. I myself greatly miss seeing you guys and being able to high five you and give you hugs and hear about your day and what's going on. Like, I miss that. And this is not how hub community is designed to function in this kind of virtual way. All right. It's not, this is not ideal, and this is not the same, but also the beauty is this is not permanent. All right. So as best you can, hang in there. We'll keep doing this for as long as we can until we're able to get back on campus in a way that makes sense. All right, but just know this isn't forever. Okay. Just want you to keep hearing that each week, and just throw a little excitement in there. What's up, Trey? We are getting really close to having some big announcements on New Hub. We're having some pretty good meetings over the last few days of finalizing some things and getting stuff ready to pull permits. And I mean, guys, we're close. We're close to being able to swing the first hammer to start that construction project. So just know that thing's still happening. This quarantine has stopped a lot of stuff, Philip, but the quarantine so far, through God's grace, has not stopped New Hub. All right. And man, how cool would that be if, like, when this thing becomes over, that we just move right into New Hub? That would be sweet. All right. So anyway, just some updates there. Hey, you still got time to send a text to a friend to say, hey, Bowden's done with all the fun stuff on the front end, but if you want to tune into the Bible study part, he's about to start that. You can send one last text to get somebody to hop on. Because we're about to open up Genesis. We're going to continue through this talk on atypical. And guys, can I just commend you just real quick? You've been super faithful to the live stream. I've been watching kind of the analytics from each week, and it's really cool to me to see what we would normally have in the room on a Wednesday night, which would be somewhere in the mid 60s, sometimes peaking in the 70s. We've been consistently having that on Wednesday, watching our live stream. So I've been really encouraged by that. What Google does at the whole end of everything, you know, they'll take who's watching now, they'll take who's watching, you know, kind of later on tonight. They'll package this whole analytic thing together, and they'll let me know tomorrow, hey Frank, 62 people watched it last night, you know, in real time, which I think's super cool that you've been that faithful, which is awesome, right? So I just want you to know I appreciate that, because you don't have to do this on a Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Listen to me ramble in front of a laptop in an empty room with Philip. Like, you don't have to do that. And that's okay. I'm glad you're doing it. All right, here we go. Atypical week 3. The last few weeks we've been talking about how families interact with each other. All right. And just a little clue into my family as a kid. Our family didn't talk a whole lot. And what I mean by that is we interacted pretty well. We did stuff together. We were all about doing things together. But when it came to sitting down and having like family conversation on the couches in the living room, let's talk about hard stuff. Let's open up our feelings and get things out in the open. Our family was not about that. In fact, I'll tell you this, I still get really weirded out. I'm a grown man with a wife and two kids, all right? And I get really uncomfortable when I leave my parents' house and either mom or dad says, "Bye, Frank, I love you." That's a weird thing. I didn't hear that a lot growing up. I knew it. I experienced my parents loving me in the ways that they showed it, but we wouldn't even say that to each other. And the only times that we really would, like I can pick them out of my memory. Anytime I went out of the country, we would make sure we said "I love you." But if I was just getting in my car driving to the high school, like never happened. Um, if someone died in our family and we were like really heightened emotionally, like we would make sure, like, hey, by the way, like I love you, guys, and I'm not lying. It's even weird for us to write it in cards, like if it's a birthday card or a mom's day card from last week or like dad's day's coming up. It's just weird, like, our family, like, my family didn't do that real consistently as when I was, like, a kid, so as I got older, it just got weird, and it's not that we don't love each other, we just don't know how to tell each other that, and so something I'm trying to model for Paige and Austin and Lewis is just be better about saying that, but it's so weird for me, like, it is so weird, which means other things are weird too when it comes to how we talk. Um, just like it's weird for me to say I love you to Austin and to Lewis, it's also weird for me to say, "Hey Austin, will you forgive me?" Because I kind of overreacted when you did that thing and it's really not a big deal, but I'm wired to think that it's a big deal. And I shouldn't have acted that way, man. I'm sorry. That's really hard for me because I also never heard that growing up a whole lot. That conversation wasn't modeled. So it was weird. All right. It was really weird. I say all that to say because in this series so far, we've met two different kinds of families. We met Adam and Eve, the first family that was established here on earth, and all the ways that they dorked some things up. And then last week we met Abraham and his family and some of the struggles that they had. All right, and tonight we're looking at another family, and again looking at the ways that make them atypical, if you will. Everybody's imperfect in their own ways. We've established that a few weeks ago that there's no perfect family. So go ahead and consider yourself atypical, but let's really look at what separates families from other families in our reactions and interactions with each other. So to kind of highlight some things, about those first two families. Here's some stuff, right? So Adam and Eve and Abraham. Here's some things that they did as a family. There was disobedience. There was lies. There was murder. There was conflict. There was disagreements. I mean, if we're kicking off humanity, and if these are the first few families we introduced to this whole world that are going to one day populate everything, we're off to a great start, right? I mean, just great start with this list of here's what the first few families characterized for us. Again, all of this product of the fall because of sin. Now we have families that model these kind of behaviors. But today we're going to look at the family of Isaac and the family of Rebekah, specifically their sons Jacob and Esau. Again, two brothers, and we're gonna look at how this story really isn't the prototypical story of brotherly love that we want to have in our families, but definitely something that, man, there was some tension and there were some problems, right? So if you have your Bible, which I hope you do, we're going to be in Genesis chapter 25 tonight. If you don't have your Bible, you got a few seconds to go grab it because I'm actually going to pray before we open this up and start reading from it. We got a lot of scripture to kind of go through tonight, guys. We're not going to be able to read all of these sections in their entirety. So I'm going to put the references up on the screen. You guys just kind of write that down for later. If you want to take notes tonight, that'd be cool. That way you can go back and look through things and study it a little bit deeper. But let me pray for us tonight. And then we're going to start looking at these two brothers and how they interacted with one another and some things that we can learn together. All right. So let me pray. God, thank you for who you are. Thank you for being a God who is always trustworthy, who we can depend on, that we can cling to as our rock. And God, I thank you for just knowing that your word in scripture is true and that not even a pandemic is great enough to overtake your throne or to cause you to stumble, or that nothing catches you by surprise. I mean, none of this. So, Lord, I pray for our students tonight that they would seek refuge in you and seek refuge in the promises of your word that helps them to navigate through a day that seems to be very uncertain and full of questions. Allow us to rest in the certainty of your word. Teach us tonight. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So we're going to be in Genesis chapter 25. And we're going to look at a couple of verses here. I think we're going to read most of these from Genesis 25, starting in verse 21, about kind of where this whole like tension thing started. All right. So, like I said, a lot of reading tonight. Just bear with me, but read along. All right. So, if you got your Bible app open, if you got your Bible open, let's read starting in verse 21. This is what we learn. And Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren. They didn't have any kids. All right. And the Lord granted his prayer, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, "If it is thus, why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said to her, "Two nations are battling in your womb. Two peoples from within you shall be divided. The one shall be stronger than the other. The older shall serve the younger." And when her days to give birth were completed, behold, there were twins in her womb. All right, so just some things to like make sure you're picking up on, right? She's pregnant, there's twins, and they gave us a really important clue at the end of verse 23 right here, where it says that verse 23, that the older shall serve the younger. That's not normal, right? That should be a big flag for you. Like, wait a second, back in the day, the older never served the younger, right? It was always the firstborn had all the rights, the firstborn got all the privileges, the firstborn got everything, and if you were second, third, or fourth, or whatever, like, you get leftovers if you got anything. And this is telling us, no, there's going to be a nation that's going to struggle with each other, and like, there's going to be division because of that, and there's going to be problems because of this, to a point where the older child's going to serve the younger child. So we're getting a lot of foreshadowing of, hey, this family's about to have some probs. All right, let's keep reading. When the first child came out, this is great. First child came out red, all his body a hairy cloak. So they called him Esau. This kid was red and full of fur. Like, I mean, he was a hairy little joker. We make fun of Austin because Austin's our furry kid. I mean, he's got back hair worse than most grown men. It's crazy. And he's 6. Like, I kid you not. Like, it's pretty funny. Like, he is our hairy child. Lewis, pale skin, no hair. Like, Lewis, he's his own creature, right? Afterward, his brother came out with his hand holding Esau's heel, so that his name was called Jacob. Now, Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. The boys grew up. Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, while Jacob was a quiet man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. So, in case you've ever wondered, do your parents have favorites if there's more than just you in the house? The answer is yes. They won't ever tell you that, but yes, there are clearly favorites. If you've known me for longer than 5 minutes, you know that we really like Austin. He's pretty awesome. We're learning to love Lewis. He's getting there. All right. But we love them both. All right. We love them differently, but we love them both. And this is just kind of showing, I'm not going to lie to you guys. All right. I won't do that. This passage right here is showing, hey, mom and yeah, mom and Jacob really bonded together. Esau and Isaac really bonded together. Like, they and that's okay. All right. That's fine. Lewis has claimed me as his, and Austin has claimed my wife Paige as his. And you know what? We just deal with it. So me and Lewis are actually like really, we're buddies. Like, we're going to be a duo to deal with down the road, guys. All right. One more little part here, and then we're going to talk for a few seconds. Once, when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field. He was exhausted. All right. And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me have some of that red stew, for I'm exhausted." Therefore, his name was called Edom. And Jacob said, "Well, give me your birthright. Sell me your birthright." This is wrong right here, guys. And Esau said, "I'm about to die. What use is a birthright to me if I'm dead?" So Jacob said, "Well, swear to me now." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. And then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank and rose, and he went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Okay, guys, there's a lot of things here that on a normal night we would really take some intentional time to kind of digest. Just some things that you can see. There was this foreshadowing of tension in the womb, right? As soon as these kids were born, like as soon as kid one was born, kid two was grabbing at the heel, right? I mean, it started right away. And then we see that one day, Jacob's cooking some stew. He's got this nice meal, like all cooked up. It's smelling great. The aromas in the air. Esau comes from probably some work in the field. He's hot. He's exhausted. He feels like he's about to die. Have you ever been so hungry and so like worn out from work that like if I don't eat something in the next 3 minutes, I'm just gonna die? Like, have you ever had that level of exhaustion? Um, if you're in the chat tonight and you were with us in Belize on that mission trip, we had some days where I felt like we worked so hard in the jungle, digging up plants and replanting stuff that, man, I ain't gonna make it back. That resort's really nice, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it back. Um, like Esau was famished, and Jacob, because this was foreshadowed, said, "Hey, you want some of my stew? That's okay. I'll give you some of my stew. Sell me your birthright." And that's a huge deal. Okay, the birthright was something that was given to and set aside for the firstborn. It was really only to be for the firstborn son. And Jacob said, "Hey, give me that. If you feel like you're going to die, then sell me your birthright, and I'll give you some food to make sure that you can live another day." And Esau was kind of like taken aback by this thing. He was like, "What are you talking about? Like, give you my birthright? Are you serious? Well, I guess if I don't have it, or if I'm dead, then it's not gonna be any good to me. So sure, take my birthright, whatever." I want you to understand the magnitude of what one Jacob did to his brother, and then two, what his brother was willing to give up. All right. So if we were to summarize some characters that we see so far, um, in just these opening passages. And we're not going to read all of chapter 27 tonight, but this is one for you to write down and go back to, because this really starts to show some of the tension built in between these two brothers, where dad's getting old and probably going to die soon. So it's his turn, or it's his time to bless the firstborn child, to really kind of establish the inheritance. And mom gets wind of this, and she says, "Hey, Jacob, dad's getting ready to go bless Isaac, or go bless Esau. Um, Here's what I want you to do. I think you can steal this blessing if you do some things." So there's this whole conniving thing happening in chapter 27. But this is what we see between these two brothers. Okay. Here's the relationship so far from the womb all the way through Genesis 27. We see competition. We see them fighting against each other. We see jealousy, where one parent loved the other, but really, kind of tolerated the other brother. I mean, we see all sorts of jealousy happening. We see deception. Deception in all of chapter 27, which you can read about on your own, when Jacob devises this great plan to make himself look and smell and sound like his brother, so that he can steal a blessing that's not his to have. We see conspiracies. We see costumes. All right. So if you're my drama people in the chat tonight, this is kind of cool. We see, one brother get all dressed up like the other one, like to a point where he's sticking hair on his body. Like it's pretty cool. It's kind of messed up. There's some heartbreak. There's soup, so there's food involved. There's lots of really, really not good, healthy things for relationships happening in these opening chapters. Right. I say all that to say and let you guys to kind of get an idea of this relationship, just to make you think, like, what on earth do you think this family was like to be in? If you were one of these brothers, or if you were another sibling that's just watching all this happening, or maybe a cousin from down the road, like, can you imagine being a part of this family? There's some messed up stuff happening. And I wish I could say this was the extent of it, this was the end of it, but we're trying to build to something. So let me give you some more stuff. If you're in Genesis chapter 32, let's look at verses 1 through 8 real quick, because some stuff's about to happen. Because this tension builds with the brothers, that causes them to separate, causes them to go their own way. And now it's getting to a point where both of the guys are grown and married. They haven't spoken to each other in years, since Jacob fled after stealing this blessing. It's been a long time, and now Jacob's on his way to the city that Esau lives in. And he knows there's going to be this come together moment, but what he doesn't know is what's going to happen. The last time I saw and talked to my brother, he acted like he wanted to kill me, which made me run away. And I haven't seen him since. I haven't talked to him since, haven't been around him since. And Jacob's getting a lot of anxiety about this as far as what is this interaction going to be like. And I want us to read this real quick tonight. So Genesis 32, let's go to verse 1. Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's camp." So he called the name of that place a word that I can't pronounce tonight. I wish I could try that word, Philip, but I just can't. All right, can't do it. So we're going to jump on down. I think I'm actually going to go. That was verse 1. Yeah, I need to get to. Yeah, there it is, verse 4. Thus says, thus you shall say to my lord Esau, your servant Jacob, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed until now. I have oxen and donkeys and flocks and male servants and female servants. I have sent to tell my Lord in order that I may find favor in your sight. Okay, so Jacob's preparing to meet his brother, and he sends a whole lot of people ahead of him that's like trying to ease any kind of anger that Esau might have. And then the messengers returned to Jacob saying, "We came to your brother Esau, and he's coming to meet you, and he has 400 people with him." All right, think about this. This is cool. So Jacob sends all these people ahead to meet his brother to kind of say, "Hey, here's all the stuff that I have. You can have it if you don't kill me." People come back. "Okay, we met your brother. He's on his way to come see you, and he's got 400 men with him." And that's all they tell him. This is great because they don't give him any other clues. Like, were they happy? Were they angry? Did they have swords? Were they marching in formation, or were they just kind of like taking a walk? Like, there's lots of questions that you would want to ask right now to understand. I have 400 men coming toward me. What is their attitude like? Do we need to go the opposite direction? Do we keep going forward? They left out a lot of details, is what I'm saying. Okay. Details matter here. All right. 400 men are on the way. This is not good, usually, in most circumstances. All right. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, so much so that he divided the people who were with them and the flocks and the herds and the camels into two camps. And he thought, verse 8, if Esau comes to the one camp and attacks it, then the camp that is left will escape. He is trying to devise a save my life plan. I'm going to take everything that I have, all the people that's with me, all the animals that's with me. I'm going to put them in two groups. I'm going to create some sort of diversion tactic. And I don't know which camp I'm going to pick to sleep in tonight, but I'm hoping it's not the one that he decides to attack. Listen to what I just said. Jacob was willing to sacrifice half of everything in order to live. Instead of trying to face his brother like a man and just manning up to all the ways that he cheated him out of things that were rightfully his, he was willing to let half of his flocks be killed or overtaken, half of his servants be killed or overtaken and enslaved. Like, he was willing to let all of that happen and hope that he made in his mind the right decision to stay in the camp that Esau didn't go to. All right. So I want you to see kind of where his mind is right now. All right. Esau knew, or Esau had, I think, every reason to hate or to be angry or to be bitter at his brother. Everything that he did to him was wrong and shouldn't have happened. And Esau was within his rights to be angry. All right. But there's some good things that happen here. You know, what's interesting with time is that a lot can happen to a man's heart over time. And we're about to see a little bit of Esau's response to see, hey, the last time I saw you, I was ready to hurt you, like real bad. But you've given me some years to think about things. And in Genesis chapter 33, we get a little picture of how Esau has matured over this time period, right? So let's read this, and then I think we got enough of a foundation to kind of build some points off of for tonight. All right, so they're getting ready to meet. Genesis 33, Jacob lifted his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau was coming, and 400 men was with him. And so he divided the children among Leah and Rachel and the two female servants. And we're going to jump on down to verse 4 because this is when it's about to happen. They are about to have their first face-to-face in years. The first time they've looked at each other, been in the same, I can slap you distance from each other, like things could go horribly wrong or things could go really good. Verse 4, but Esau ran to meet him. And granted, he's got 400 people with him. I'm either going to run to meet you so I get the first swing, or ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck, kissed him, and they wept. They, that's important right there. Both of them cried. They cried like a baby. And Esau lifted up his eyes and he saw the women and the children. He said, who are these people with you? And Jacob said, well, the children whom God had graciously given your servant. And then the servants drew near, and they and their children, they bowed down. And Leah likewise, and her children drew near and bowed down. And last Joseph and Rachel drew near, and they bowed down. And Esau said, what do you mean by all this company that I met? And Jacob answered, well, to find favor in the sight of my Lord, if you're having trouble understanding Bible language, in hopes that you won't kill me. Like, I'm hoping that you see all this stuff and you receive it as a gift and as my way of saying, hey, bro, I'm really sorry for that thing I did a long time ago. Would you please not kill me? Basically, is what Jacob's trying to do here. And Esau said, oh man, I have enough. I don't need all that. Keep what you have for yourself. I love verse 9. It's so cool. He's like, well, cool, man. I made a good living too on my own, and I don't need your stuff, so we're good. And Jacob's like, no, you don't understand. No, please, if I found favor in your sight, then accept my present from my hand, for I've seen your face, which is like seeing the face of God, and you've accepted me. Please accept my blessing that I brought to you, because God has dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. And he urged him, and he took it. Guys, there is so much good happening here in this story. Verse 12 tells us Esau said, let us journey on our way together. I'll go ahead of you. Um, Man, there's so much unknown and so much anxiety and so much emotion went into this meeting. Jacob had no idea what to expect. But I'd be willing to guarantee, like, I'd be willing to bet my right pinky toe that he never expected his brother to come running toward him and give him a big old hug and a sloppy kiss. Like, I bet he never expected that, because he knew deep down just how bad he messed him over. Like, he knew that. And he knew, like my brother has every right to still hold this bitterness over me. My brother still has every right to, like, have all of this um hatred toward me, and he would have every right to act on that, and he didn't. And I think it's an amazing picture of just how the Lord's able to deal with both people over the course of time. And look, our family doesn't, or our family that I grew up in didn't talk well with each other when things got awkward and difficult. And we've had to have some of those family meetings. We've had to have some of those family talks. I'm sure some of you here in the chat have had to have some of those real hard family talks. I'll tell you this about me. I am one who does not like conflict. I don't enjoy conflict. I prefer there not to be any conflict. This is how socially awkward I am. I am willing to uh, reveal to you a side of me that I don't tell many people. All right. It's going to be highly embarrassing, because it's not just you, it's the whole YouTube world, whoever wants to watch this. All right. Um, because I don't know how to have tough conversations well as a kid, like with my family. Um, I would watch my favorite TV show at that time when I was a kid, which I told you guys a few weeks back was Seventh Heaven. Like, that was a show that I really liked. It was one of the three that my parents allowed me to watch, so I didn't have much of a choice. And I would watch how those kids kind of stood up to their mom and dad. I'm like, okay, next time me and dad have like a disagreement, I'm going to try to do that thing that that kid did and see what happened. Like, this, what I'm telling you is, we communicated so poorly growing up that I'm having to take context clues from a TV show on how do I stand up to my dad when I feel like he's wrong and I feel like I may be a little right, even to a point where I want to stop the conversation. I remember this vividly. We were in the living room, dad in a rocking chair, I'm on the couch, we're having a discussion. I am emotionally to a point where I need a break from this, and I have never walked out of the room on my dad before during a conversation. That's like a get beat kind of thing, right? Um, but I needed to check out. And I remember in the Seventh Heaven episode a few days ago that when that kid was ready to check out, he just stood up and said, "Hey, can I be excused? I'm done." And I was like, I'll remember that for a time later. So fast forward a few days, I'm at that point where I'm emotionally done, and I stand up and say, "Hey, Dad, can I be excused? Like, I'm done." And I think it took my dad out, like, it took him aback because little Bowden here had never done that before. And Dad's like, sure, go ahead. And I walked out of that living room like a boss. Like, I felt like I'd just done something. I really didn't do anything because we still had to finish that conversation. Um, I tell you that story about me because I know for some of you, having really tough conversations or interactions with your family, whether it's you owning a mistake that you did or you allowing someone to confess and ask for forgiveness for something they've done to you, a lot of you guys don't handle that well and don't know how to um, operate in that kind of a situation. And sometimes for some of us, when conflicts happens, you're just too stubborn or too angry or too ashamed or afraid to have that talk. And you let those ugly things grow and you let them fester and you let them get even more and more built up and out of control. And I think Esau thought, or I think Jacob thought that Esau was going to be that way, and it wasn't. He wasn't like that. All right. Here's what I really wanted us to get to tonight, because if you fast forward a few thousand years, okay, we got this exchange here with Esau and with Jacob, and kind of what can happen over time. There's this really awesome passage in Matthew that talks about our interaction with each other and really the expectation that Jesus has for his people as we interact with one another. All right. So if we're in Matthew chapter 18, and if we're looking through, say, verses 15 through 17, this is what we would read. And this is what God instructs us. This is how God expects us to act toward one another. He says, if your brother sins against you, just go to him and tell him his fault between you and him alone. And if he listens to you, you have gained your brother. Verse 16, but if he does not listen to you, take one or two others along with you, that every charge may be established by the evidence of two or three witnesses. Verse 17, if he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. And if he refuses to listen even then to the church, then let him or let him be to you as a Gentile and a tax collector. We use this passage a lot when it comes to church discipline and how do we approach members of the church who may be in open sin, right? And I think a principle from this works for you and I just in everyday life, that if you're going through your day-to-day business and mom or dad or sister or brother or friend or stranger just does something, says something, and it has caused some sort of sin between you and them, there's an expectation that you're able to man up and like have that hard conversation. Have that time where you go, and not like a fake peace, not where like you just smile at each other and you go on your way and it's like, okay, like, no, we're good, don't worry about it. But deep inside you're like, I hope you get hit by a bus today. Um, that's not real. That's not genuine, and not really God honoring there. I'm talking about like actual living at peace with each other. And sometimes, in order to live at peace with one another, and I've said this every week, that sometimes we have to be the ones to take that first step, right? And I think here's why, at least from the story of Adam and Eve, we learned this, that God designed us to be in relationship with Him, but He also designed us to be in relationship with each other. And we know, you and I know, because I've said this for the 5 years I've been here at Calvary, that sin has dorked everything up, right? It has fractured the way God designed everything way back in the beginning. So we are now living in this fractured, distorted view of how God created. And now we're living in this state of sin, knowing that Jesus has come and he has lived his sinless life as a sacrifice for us, has redeemed, like the way in which he lived, the sacrifice on the cross, his resurrection, his ascension, all of that, so that he may be able to redeem his people, right? We know that God is redeeming and restoring things back to in the beginning at some time in the future. Like, we're looking forward to that part. But between now and when Jesus decides to come back and establish his throne here on earth forever, it's like, I got to know how to operate in a broken, sinful world with broken, sinful people. And I've got to know, as a Christ follower, how do I function in that kind of environment when God designed us to be in relationship with him and designed us to be in relationship with each other. All right. Sometimes it involves us having to have those tough conversations, knowing that if I don't do that, like if Jacob and Esau refused to reconcile with each other, then that division would not have just affected them, guys. Listen, it would also affected their own relationship with God. And I know some of you, because I'm scrolling through the chat over here and I'm seeing names that I feel like pretty good relationships with. And I know you guys, I've talked with you guys, I've counseled with you guys, and I've seen how issues between you and some of your friends have had an effect on just your walk with Christ. I've seen how some of your tensions and some of your issues with friends at school or with teammates on your team or even with your parents. I've seen how that's affected your walk with Christ, and I've seen that how that's affected you here at the hub. So I know, like, hey, this is bigger than just, oh, I can write them off. I don't have to worry about them. Whatever. I'll find a different friend. No, it doesn't. It doesn't just end there, because that separation between you and that friend also affects that relationship that you have with Jesus, and it grows that separation between you and God as well. All right. Um, Esau chose to do a not so typical thing. He did the atypical thing when he went and hugged his brother and gave him a big old kiss and said, "Hey, man, we're good. All right, we're good." And something that we learned is that not so typical families have tough conversations, and it's not easy. It's never promised to be easy. All right. Um, but I think there's some things that we can hope to and we can cling to. Like, if I choose to have this really tough talk, if I choose to really sit down with my brother or my sister, or I'll use that term in like the spiritual sense, like my spiritual brother or my spiritual sister, and like, hey, let's talk some things out. Here's some things that having those conversations can do, right? Because you may be saying, "Hey, Frank, I ain't doing it. Like, I am not having that kind of talk. Like, I'm not about it. I'm not." What they did was so bad. Like, think about this. If you think that what they did was so bad that you can't go back and reconcile, what do you think? Like, when Jesus is like on the cross dying for you in that moment, I mean, let's just think about this. There was nothing so bad that you've done or could do or could think or could say that would keep Jesus from pouring his blood out for you. Okay. At our very worst moment in our life, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us at our worst possible sinful moment. Like, if you can think about what that might be like for you, it was that moment, just like, yeah, I'll die for you right there. So let's not get into this game of saying, yeah, Frank, I can't forgive them for what they did. Now, it may take a lot of time and a lot of growth and a lot of counseling and a lot of on your knees before Jesus saying, God, help me grow to a point where I can forgive, or help me grow to a point where we can have this talk. Not trying to minimize hurt and definitely not trying to minimize pain. I'm saying over time, because there were years that went by with Jacob and Esau before they reconciled. But reconciliation can still happen. Okay. Here's some things that we can look forward to when you have these tough talks, when you have these kind of conversations, when you sit down and eyeball to eyeball with somebody, and let's let things just kind of hang out on the table here. It makes room for healing and repentance. Like, healing can take place by addressing the wound. All right. And also repentance. There may be some things that you realize in your life, like, man, I need to repent for that. And it's not just you that need to repent for something. Here's another benefit, if you will, from having a tough talk. It helps you to learn how to communicate. Something that I didn't learn how to do as a kid. Like, how do I express my feelings in a meaningful way and also understand someone else's perspective? Here's what I love Here's what I love about Austin. At 6 years old, he is perfectly confident to stand up for himself to me or to Paige and say, Mom, I don't like that, or Daddy, I don't like that. And he's learning how to communicate and express himself. And I'm really trying hard not to suppress that. Like, you know what, kid? I'm glad that you feel like you can tell me, as like someone who is three and a half times your size, that you feel like you can say that, and I want to validate that. And here's another thing that having tough talks can do: it gives you a chance to create a solution that can benefit everybody. um, so having these tough talks has an opportunity where you can have this solution that benefits everybody. Now, Adam, you posed a good question here, man. I actually want to talk about that for a second. Adam, you asked, but Frank, you're not saying that we can't ever break off friendships, right? Adam, that's a tough question, man, because I think there are points in your life where it may be appropriate to say, hey, this friendship, it's time for us to go separate ways. I remember distinctly when I was in high school, when I finally, Adam, got serious about my faith at the end of my 8th grade year, going into my freshman year. I knew things had to change in my life, and part of the biggest thing that had to change for me was my friend group. I had a terrible friend group. I say terrible. I had a friend group that was not helping me by influencing real good decisions when it came to my walk with Jesus. All right. Um, and I knew that needed to change more than anything. Like, I had to surround myself around other teenagers that valued what I was putting all of my time and energy and effort into. So I got really vested into my youth group at Piney Grove. I found a friend group there that supported me, that um, affirmed the things that I was believing in, that affirmed the things that I was seeking in Scripture to find to be true. Like, I needed that group. And Adam, by contrast, it was like, okay, a handful of people from my school that I've been running around with since I was in elementary school, I wasn't hanging out with them anymore. Like, and it wasn't that I was mean or ugly to them. It was just, hey, it's obvious that we're on different tracks here. So I'm not gonna be this fake. Hey, what's up, buddy? Like, I'm not gonna do that to you, man. I'm not gonna pander you that way. So let's just kind of go on our separate ways, and that be fine. So, Adam, I think there's definitely a point where some friendships need to end, and some friendships need to break away. I think there's are other points where, though, hey, I can't break this friendship off and leave things unsettled if there's something like a sin issue, especially in this case with Jacob and Esau. There's a sin issue, man. You can't just ignore that and leave that and say, all right, instead of addressing this, I'm just going to leave because it's better for both of us if we go our separate ways. I don't know, man. There's a sin issue there that I think we need to address and reconcile first before that friendship changes. And I don't know, Adam, 2 times his size. I feel like I'm a little bit bigger. I don't know. He's got a big old head that kind of makes up for some of that. So I don't know. See, I love this interaction here. This is so much fun for me. Anyway, hey guys, let me just throw you to this, and we'll end tonight. And if you got some questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat. We got a few minutes to ask some stuff. And Adam, that was a really good question. All right. Um, that I wish I could give you, like, here's 5 easy ways to have a tough conversation with your dad, or here's 3 easy steps to having tough civil conversations with your friends that have messed you over for the last 3 years of your middle school days. I wish there was that step process that exists, and if there is, I don't really know it all that well. But here's some things. All right. Just where you can start. As some of these conversations can start as simple as just asking the question, right? Hey, can we talk about something? We need to talk about something. Can we talk about what happened? And being patient. Part of having good conversations with people is being patient and allowing someone else to express their feelings and allowing them to express their perspective. Okay. I try to remind myself there's always at least 2 sides to a story. Um, there most of the time there's 3 sides, right? There's what actually happened, there's what you think happened, there's what other people say happened. I get that right, Philip? And somewhere in the middle of all those 3 things is where I'm trying to get to. Like, I'm trying to get to what actually happened, but I might have to do some gymnastics to get there. And I got to be patient and allow people to express and get perspective and all that kind of stuff. Um, hey guys, a tough thing for people to do is actually listen. Like, really listen to somebody when they're talking to you and trying to open up about things. Being honest, second hardest thing to do. Listening is one, but then being honest. Like, when somebody actually asks you, hey, don't lie to me. Like, did this hurt? Or I remember when Philip showed up tonight. Can I tell this story? Is this okay? So Philip and I talked last week about him coming tonight and hanging out, and he and I hadn't texted this week at all, I don't believe. And so he shows up like just before 6 o'clock, and I'm going to my truck to get my Bible and my notes, and he's pulling up at the same time. So I wait for him, and the first thing out of Philip's mouth was, "Hey Frank, be honest. You didn't think I was going to come tonight, did you?" And the dude called me out, right? He just straight up called me out, and I'm going to be honest, at about 5:45, when I hadn't heard from Philip and I hadn't taken the initiative to text him to remind him or to ask, I started to think he's probably not going to come. He's probably not going to come. Like, it's fine. So he asked me. He called me out. Be honest. You didn't think I was coming tonight, did you? And I told him, nope. But I'm glad you did. I'm glad you came tonight, Philip. It's a little bit easier with one more person in the room tonight. That's for sure. Um, and here's another thing. Just admit when you're wrong. Like for real. Just admit when you're wrong. Just own it and get that out in the open and move on. Right. I had to do that to a brother last week. I responded really poorly to him, and it ate at me for like 35 minutes. And he and I crossed paths before I left for today. I was like, dude, I am so sorry, man. Like I reacted so poorly to you, man, and that was not right. Like I had to admit that I was wrong, which one goes against everything in which I was raised. So growth moment for me there. But I had to get that out in the open, man. I just had to own that. So just some things there for you guys, all right? Listening to understand. Oh, that's a good one. Listening to understand, not to interrupt or to answer. It's good stuff there, Adam. Um, all of that to say tonight, not so typical families, they have tough conversations. And like we said before, sometimes you might have to be the one to take that first step. All right. We see that with Jacob and Esau. We see that all throughout scripture when conflict happens. Somebody has to make the first move. And I'm calling you guys as a hub, be the ones not afraid to take that first step. All right. I'm thinking of some of you that are getting ready to transition from middle school to high school, that maybe now's the time that you find a new friend group to hang out with. I'm thinking of some of you that are nearing the end of your high school days, that maybe now's the time where you realize, man, the people who I thought really cared about me never really did. And maybe I need some folks around me that actually care about who I am and what I'm trying to stand up for. And I believe that God cares about that. And I believe that He wants you to have that support around yourself. So I don't think He's going to leave you hanging and all by yourself to navigate life all by yourself, because I don't see that in the Bible where God's like, hey, you got to do this thing all alone with no support from anybody. He designed us to be in relationship with Him. He designed us to be in relationship with one another. So make that a matter of prayer. If you're in one of those groups of transition, especially trying to find, like, man, who am I going to be around that helps me through life? Because life is a mess right now. Hey guys, I love you. Let me pray for us, and then we'll hang out for just a few more minutes in the chat if you want. Yeah, you can ask Philip a question. That would be fun, and we'll put him on the spot, because why not? We can even get him a microphone. So come up with a good question for Philip as he now decides if it was a good decision or not to come tonight. So let me pray for us. God, I love you. It's so good to be able to, in a digital way, still laugh and carry on with friends and with what I would call family. And Lord, I appreciate and love and value so many of our hub students and families, and the ones that are here with us tonight watching. God, thank you for how they encourage me. Thank you for how they support this ministry and give me so much to look forward to each and every day as I still come on this campus and try to figure out ways to do things well and to serve you um, here in Columbus and at Calvary. So Lord, continue to bless us and continue to inspire our students to do things that will just take your kingdom throughout all parts of their schools, their families, their neighborhoods. And Lord, like, allow revival to happen in our church through the student ministry in a way that, man, we couldn't even dream or fathom of. God, we thank you for who you are. We love you and praise things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So, guys, we got a few minutes to hang out. If you want to hang and talk for a little bit, you can do that. You can type a question in, or you can just, I don't know. Bella Perry is already, man, she is asking you a question, Philip. Philip, same question. Favorite comedy movie? And she added why. She wants to know why, because yeah, so I'm gonna wait for Philip. And actually, Philip, you could talk right back if you want to, or you can just let me relay. It'd be kind of easy if you just want to talk right into that, and which would be weird because then they would be able to hear you but not see you. So that'd be kind of cool. Only if you wanted to. You don't have to. Comedy movie, man. I don't like comedies. I'm more of like, not enough blood happens in comedies. So sure, Marvel counts. Yeah, they can be. Yeah, yeah, they can be. Maybe. Oh man, we got some Eli Smith's like the ghost of Philip. That's funny. Yeah. Let's see. Phil doesn't know. He's like, oh man, I'm not real sure. You're Marvel, okay. Hey, Moreland, I'm gonna be real honest. I'm not smart enough to know the difference between DC or Marvel until this past Sunday. I was having a conversation with somebody, but I've already forgotten it. One of those two, like, if it'll print on a T-shirt or on a hat, it's this one. Like, what team does like if if it has a symbol that you would put like you would embroider on a hat or something like the logos. So one of those that's DC. Okay, yeah. So DC, Adam, you can't fire me, man. Come on, man. Please, like, don't fire me yet. Again, if it wasn't black and white or a Disney movie as a kid, I couldn't watch it. So DC would be the ones that like have symbols that you would brand, and the other team, who's that Marvel, would be the ones that like you wouldn't really put that on a hat, kind of things. So like X-Men. X-Men's Marvel because there's really nothing to put as a logo on something that you would embroider, but like Green Lantern has that thing, he has that little symbol thing that you would put on a hat and you'd wear that junk because Austin does.
Thor doesn't have
It doesn't
necessarily.
work for all of them. It doesn't work for all of them. I learned that it doesn't work for all of them, but I think I think it makes me a DC fan. I think.
We might not be able to be friends.
I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea. That's not a good explanation. I didn't say it was perfect, Adam. I just said it was one that I heard on Sunday. Bella is still saying, so Frank, Philip didn't really answer my question. I'll, Bella, you can stay. That's awesome. You're calling that boy out. He's like, answer my question. Favorite comedy movie. While he's still thinking, Sydney says, hey, Frank, when do you think we'll meet up again for Hub? All right, Sydney, that's a great question. Here's the short answer to that. Now, Batman or Iron Man? Batman all the way, dude. Batman all the way. Now, neither one of them are actual superheroes because they're just men with a lot of money with really cool toys. So they don't really have a superpower. But I just like Batman because he's a little darker than Iron Man to me. Like he's just Shrek. Philip says Shrek. All right.
Pop culture references, a lot of layers. Very, very good.
Eli, are you saying fight me, Frank, because Batman is not a superhero? Is that what you're asking me to fight you for? Because I will. Iron Man's toys are. I didn't say Iron Man didn't have as cool of a toys as Batman.
Iron Man is better Batman.
I mean, Iron Man is. Oh man, I don't know if he's a better Batman. He's a richer Batman for sure. Both of them are pretty wealthy, but I think Iron Man's money buys him some cooler toys. And Sydney, I'm coming back to your question. I promise.
Who's the more resourceful?
I mean, Adam says Iron Man's lame. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, I think I enjoy.
Cooler stuff.
I mean, Iron Man has some cool stuff. He did have some cool stuff, but if you put Iron Man in Gotham, I don't think his stuff works. I don't think it works in Gotham. I don't really know why. I just don't think it does. Like, you don't think it's true? I don't know if Batman works outside of Gotham. Like, Eli, you're fired. This is great. Okay, so Sydney, back to your question. When do I think we can meet up again for Hub? All right, so Sydney, the short answer for that is we are at least waiting until this what's it called? Public health emergency in Georgia expires. That's slated for June 12, I believe. So we're at least waiting until that. I'm not going to do anything with a public health emergency over us. So that's at least step one, Sydney. And then step two, I'm going to be honest, all right? I want to give us a chance to do stuff over the summer. We're just going to have to be careful. We're going to have to be very cautious on what we do and how we do it. So summer's going to look different for us, and that's going to be okay. We're going to figure stuff out, but at least waiting until that public health emergency expires, at least waiting until Calvary starts having Sunday morning worship back in the room together. That's a big step for us that needs to happen. And after that, we'll kind of take it another week at a time to figure out, all right, if Hub does something, is it like all of Hub? Is it all of you crazies coming together for something? Or do we need to have like mini Hub meetups? How about that? Like, hey, we need to do a mini hub meetup, which means like 6 of you can go meet Chris Yarbrough here, and 7 of you can go meet, Blake there, and 5 of you come meet me here. Like we just might have to get real creative with how we do stuff until things are, I don't know, normalized. And really, truthfully, we just don't know right now. So Pastor Ricky and I have been talking a lot on, hey, how do we plan for this? It's so hard to plan. Um, we're trying to come up with a lot of options. Maybe June comes and they lift everything and they're like, go back to normal. Then us as a pastoral staff will have some conversations and we'll figure out what that looks like. Maybe they come back and say, keep doing what you're doing for a few more weeks. Here's what I want you to hear me say. I'm going to honor what the governing authorities above me say. That would be Pastor Ricky. That would be, Governor Kemp and what he wants us to do, because we're going to model biblically what that looks like. It just might mean we have to get a little more creative in the way that we do things. And that's okay. It'd be fine. Because remember, this isn't forever. This is only temporary. This isn't permanent. All right. So I hope that answered your question in a way that doesn't get me in trouble with trying to make promises that I can't keep, because I definitely want us to be able to hub again, but it's just going to be different for a while. Is that Walker? What's up, Walker? Hey, buddy. He said it might not be till next school year that everyone get back. I hope it's not that bad, though. I hope, man. I hope we're able to do stuff. I know, Sydney, it does feel like forever. It's been like 2 months or something. So, Frank, what's your favorite plant? That is so weird. Well, what's my favorite plant? I need I need to think about that one. I'm not real sure. I have least favorite plants. I know that like really fast. I'm gonna have to think about favorite plant and how I want to answer that, because I got 4 of them or 3 of them tattooed on me, so I might need to consider one of those. Um, who would win in a fight? All the Marvel characters or all the DC characters? Hey, Eli, again, me not knowing who plays on what team, I'm gonna need some more help. So if you can give me single matchups, like UFC fight style. You got this guy against this guy. Give me that, and I'll take my pick. I'm not real sure how that'd go down though. So give me some real options. Who wins in a fight? Ninja Turtles or X-Men?
X-Men.
X-Men? You think so?
Yeah.
Probably. It'd probably be bad too, wouldn't it?
Generation.
Oh, that's right. They can do that. But but turtles though, that turtle power.
Pizza power.
Well, there is that. All right, Thanos versus Superman. You went there right out the gate. Thanos, is that how you say that? Thanos. Does he have all the little stones or not? Because that's important, Eli. I need to know. Does he have all the stones or not all the stones? Yes. That Eli. Does he have all the stones, or I'm just gonna throw that out there. I asked the same question 2 different ways and I didn't know how to take your answer. So he has all the stones. Well, that's pretty easy then, right? That's a no-brainer. He just snaps. Like Superman can't do anything at that point, I guess. I don't know. I think that's how the end of the movie goes. So I'm gonna say Thanos. I don't think he should, but all the stones. Same, Sydney. Let's see. Why has this turned into a comics discussion? Because, Chris, this is what we'd be talking about at the end of your small group anyway on Wednesday night. This is just, doing the normal, middle school guy thing right here. Superman would win if he doesn't have the Infinity Stones. If Thanos had one of the stones, he would win. I'm so confused. Superman can turn back time. But can he turn back time after the snap, though, Adam? Like, can that happen? He can turn back time after the snap? Well, that's how the movie ended, didn't it? Like, didn't Superman go back into time?
What movie?
The last.
Superman and Thanos.
Oh no, that was Captain America. Just kidding, man. Sorry. I know this world as well as I know the Star Wars world. Yeah. Superman went in. I realize that now, Belly. Don't have to scream at me in all caps. All right. Adam said you're lost. No clue what you're talking about. Walker, I don't either, man. Let's talk baseball. How about that not coming back? That'd be interesting. I think we could potentially have a July 4 Major League Baseball start of season. That would be kind of cool. I think that'd be really, really cool if we started baseball when we should be having the All-Star break. That would be kind of neat. I'd be all for that. I am for anything that makes baseball a shorter season. Okay. Yeah, so Sydney kind of has a thing for this guy named Mookie Betts. He's a baseball player. So yeah. This is fun. I'm trying to, but because Thanos snapped once and half his body was useless for it. Wow, yeah, I'll let y'all super nerds battle that one out because I have no clue there. Now they're both aliens. No, that's funny. That's great. Lily, how you been? He's just good. Lily, you been good? Hope so. Chris, what do you think is going to happen with the whole baseball thing? Yes, no, maybe. Somebody else. Let's see, where you at? Walker, what about college football? Yes or no? College football, does it happen? Um, let's see. Chris, I already asked Chris something. If one of the Blakes is still hanging around, or maybe a Tennyson, does the NFL happen? Does like pro football happen at all? Walker says yes. Adam says no NCAA this year. Man, I don't know. That'd be tragic. That Yeah. I mean, I think universities would shut down. Like they would have to. Some of them. I'm not real sure. Lily says homeschool life is great. My GPA is amazing. I love it. That's so funny. He said, if it doesn't, no other sport's going to happen because they can't fund without football money. You ain't wrong. Yep, and there's Title IX. But what if like the college football teams just say, you know what, NCAA, we don't need you. We're going to form our own league. We're going to unionize and do our own stuff. Literally, that's so funny. I'm laughing. I like your comment. That's great. Austin has thrived in the homeschool life too. Um, he has really enjoyed kindergarten at home. We gave up on a lot of that though a long time ago. But like, look, kid. Yeah, it's summer break in about March 20. All right. So that's true. You can't play football. The other kids can't go to school. Yep. Now, what if, Adam, what if they have school but not on campus? It's all home based learning for college. So they're technically in school, can't have athletes still, probably. Man, I guarantee there's gonna be a couple of colleges out there that say, hey, what's that one major we kind of don't care about that we'll let them come just so that we can have our athletes back. I mean, think about it. There's gonna be sacrifices made. Mark my words. I think Chris Yarbrough's gone. He's not answering my question. Um, yep, comments made Chris jump ship. Come on, Chris, come back. Somebody get Chris Yarbrough back. We need the Chris Yarbrough. All right. Somebody get him back. Man. Oh man, Sydney has news. Frank, guess what? What is it, Sydney? I can't possibly guess. So I have no idea what this could be. You just tell me. I'll pretend to be excited. Walker, I'm so excited. It's a short season, no matter what it is. Like if it's baseball, that's the best thing. It should be 80 games, 82 games, no matter what. If it's basketball, they make the shortest season the longest possible season imaginable. I have no idea how they managed to do that. Their playoffs alone last like 5 months. It's unreal. So I'm all for the NBA being shorter. Chris says, "Get out, Frank." Hey, look, you know what's been I can't say this on YouTube. Never mind. I won't say that. That would be inciting a riot, and that wouldn't be godly of me. I'll tell Philip afterwards though when we get off at how I think actually not having baseball has helped a lot of people instead of hurt a lot of people. That's just my own personal views. Because you know what we haven't seen over the last couple of weeks? We haven't seen like parents fighting at little league games. We haven't seen like any of that kind of stuff. It's been kind of great. No like bad news stories making, you know, people look horrible because they got tossed, at the All-Star Little League All, you know what I mean? Like, so I think it's helped. Walker says wrong. I know. Look, guys, I could watch no more baseball the rest of my life and be perfectly fine. However, I did watch last night for like 45 minutes of the Korean baseball league because I wanted to see the bat flips. That junk's awesome. If the major league, okay, Sydney, I'll come back to you. I gotta say this though. If the MLB would not get, I can say butt hurt, right?
You just did.
Cool. If those guys wouldn't get so mad when someone actually like launches a ball into space and watches that joker, like that's awesome. I just hit that 573 feet and then peg them 4 years later for it. Like I would like Major League Baseball a lot better if we could admire our good works. You know what? If you don't want a guy to absolutely rock you to deep left, throw a better pitch. That's what I say. Um, so I was watching the Korean baseball stuff last night because those bat flips are awesome, and they put fake people in the stands, which is really cool. I like that, the little cardboard cutouts. That's super nice. But Chris, I hate on baseball because I was never good enough to play past like A ball because I couldn't see because my parents didn't think that my eyesight was actually as bad as it is. So I never got glasses. And so I was standing at the plate seeing nothing. And like something just hit me and that hurt real bad. And I did not like it. So that's why I hate on baseball because I couldn't play. 47 more days. I know what it is. 47 more days until you are a freshman. Is that right? Did I get that right? I'm going to say 47 more days until you are a freshman in high school. Is that right? Tell me if I'm right. Chris says, we are mourning the loss of Little League season. Please stop. This is great. My birthday, sir. Oh, sorry. I mean, 47 days. That's okay. I know when that is. All right. I'm good. I'm tracking. I got it. I can do some quick math. That's right. Yes. I think we should all take forks and fork Sydney's yard for her birthday in 47 days. Let's do that. Walker, I need you to get on that, man. I need you to get the guys together and go buy out all the plastic forks from the Dollar General. You have 47 days, which means that should be a lot of forks, sir. You don't have to do it all at once. Spread it out over a couple of weeks, but we need to fork the yard. All right. Just don't tell Steve. Okay. This is one of those operations. Sydney, you're going to know this. This is more for your dad than it is for you, but we'll frame it as if it's for you on your birthday. But it's really just because we love Steve and we want to fork his yard, and that'd be hilarious. Okay. That'd be great. It'd be so funny. Hey, I'm a senior after this week. That's awesome, Lily. That's so good. Chris said that'd be awesome. Well, you missed his birthday. I know, man. Like, we had that parade thing that we were going to try to jump into for Steve's birthday, but that parade was like 97 cars long. And we were like, yeah, we're going to have to skip this one. And it was his 40th. We could have had a lot of fun with that. We could have spray painted his yard black. I mean, we could have had a lot of fun with him on his 40th, but we'll save it for 50. That's what we'll do. We'll save all the good stuff for 50. We'll burn his yard for 50. Because it'll grow back. It'd be great, but at least it'd be black, to start with. So, but anyhow, Emily, you still with us, or did you leave? Are you gone, Emily? Maybe she's still there. I don't know. See, the bad thing is it doesn't really tell me when somebody leaves if they don't say bye. Kind of like on a normal Wednesday night. We're like, unless you just tell me bye on a Wednesday, I don't know. Like, did you leave yet? I don't know. Let's see. Frank, did you think about your favorite plant? Oh, man, Bella, you don't forget anything. That's awesome. Let's see. Favorite plant. I eat a lot of plants. Like, I like plants that I can eat. But I'm going to say a tree is technically a plant. I mean, so I'm going to say a weeping willow is my favorite plant, which also happens to be my favorite tree. All right. Lily, wait, what age do we technically get kicked out of youth? That's a great question, Lily. Typically, we start to take applications to kick you out once you graduate. So you have some time, So once you graduate, then we start to evaluate. Do we want you hanging around any longer? Do we kick you out now or later? Like we kick some out faster than others. It's a great process. Yeah. So Lily, you got another year, but I fully expect you to take a gap year with us and to sign up for Hub grad assistance down the road. So just go ahead and know that we're probably not getting rid of you anytime soon. So just so you know that. Weeping willow. There we go. Philip, what's yours? Favorite plant?
Brownie points with the white.
Roses, he says. I planted like 9 rose bushes over the weekend. So pinks and reds and alternating bushes, like pink, red, pink, red. It's very pretty. You know, guys, we did a lot of work around the house in preparation for Hub House Huddles. Just kind of like, if we're still going to have these, then maybe we need to get the house looking right. So if we're able to have one or two sometime this summer or in the fall, the yard's going to look awesome. Like, I'm trying to kill the mosquitoes, Chris. I'm not forgetting about that. I put some trees in that are supposed to kill mosquitoes. I've like cut the I've cut a bunch of the stuff down behind the pool where the creek is. Nice choice, Philip, but I really like Frank's a little bit more. That's funny. I know it only took 4 years. I'm trying. Those mosquitoes are tough though. They're hard to kill. I need to find some other stuff that's not chemical based. I'm trying, but I got some plants, keeping water moving. I'm doing everything I can. I'm trying real hard. It's not working. I'm just gonna let you know it's not working. I'm still losing that battle really bad, but I'm trying. All right. Bella, same question because that's only fair. All right. What's your favorite plant? Chris said, I have to seriously think about coming to your house every Wednesday because of that. Hey, you're not wrong, man. Like between the mosquitoes for you and the spiders for Amy, I get it. I get why people wouldn't want to come to my house. Like those Katala spiders are nothing to mess around with. Scorpions for sure. Bye, Sydney. Miss you too, kid. We'll see you later. All right. He said, I leave looking like I have chicken pox on my legs every week. Basically. And just think, Chris, I live there. I feel that way when I go get the mail, like every day. Bye, Moreland. See ya. Tell your dad I'll see him tomorrow. A panda flower. I have no idea what a panda flower is. Um, okay, I'll look it up as you scream at me in all caps again. Miss you too, kid. Yo, Walker. See you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out again tonight. Hey, when we can get together, Walker, let's long toss. Let's get some gloves out onto the field and let's throw. That'd be fun. We can socially distant by throwing long distances between each other. That'd be good. So we'll figure that out later this summer. Eli said, "You said there would be a prize for guessing the guess." Yes, Eli, you get the prize of congratulations and um, the 2 claps and maybe we'll do something next week. I don't know, Eli. I don't know what the prize is. I'm not real sure. If it involves delivering something to your house, he said, "Don't rip me off, Frank." Yeah, no. I feel like I've been holding out on. Adam says, "There's never a prize. It's all a lie." Adam's been waiting for his prize for like 3 weeks. Jacob Scoggins is still waiting on his Chick-fil-A. He didn't show up tonight, so you guys got to get on to him. There's always a prize. It just sometimes takes me a year to deliver on that. Just ask private school Bradley Smith. Sometimes he's like, Frank, you still owe me a shirt from last year. I'm like, yeah, you're right about that. I'm sorry. Frank, Jaws or Jaws 2? No brainer. Jaws 3. Like, I'm just kidding. No, just the first one. Jaws 1. So good. Jaws 1 all the way. That was a great one. That's such a good movie. That's worth watching tonight. I might have to do that tonight. All right, we got 2 more minutes, and I'm going to sign off and head to the house. 2 more minutes. The prize is a lie. I don't know, Eli. Maybe that needs to be a shirt. Like that'd be a good way to like what personifies the hub. The prize is a lie. That'd be a great shirt. Somebody who's a good designer, get on that. The prize is a lie. That's good. That is a stereotypical youth pastor thing right now. Hey, there'll be a prize for if you get 80 people here tonight. We'll have a prize. Yeah, I'll shave my beard if 100 of you come. No, I won't. Because Jack did not do it. I'll do it. There we go. The prize is a lot. I love that. We need to make that something. Michael King's wondering who is in the room with you. He just sent me a text like, bro, who are you talking to? I've gone crazy, Michael. I've had to put like a mannequin over here to have somebody to look at and talk to. I got 7 missed text messages, most of which are from my wife who know that I'm doing a live stream, but she texts me anyway, which is cool. I don't think she watches. I'm not real sure. If she does, don't tell her that I bought a gun today. All right. I did a thing, bought a pew pew. Don't tell her, right? Don't tell the wife. She can't know. She can't know. All right. Frank Rules is another shirt. Wait, but the clarifying thing would be like not like Frank Rules, like I'm a really cool guy. It would be more like the Frankisms, like Frank Rules, like not, you know what I mean? Yeah, depending on how you say it. It's great. That's so funny. Yeah, it just depends, Frank Rules, because I would want to read that like, I know you guys, like y'all love me. I'm the best. I know that. Like, no, like you're really awful. It's the Frankisms. It's all the stupid rules that you have for games, which makes me me, and which is why y'all keep coming back. Yeah, I know, double meanings. See, I knew it, Chris. That's why I put it in quotes. Yeah. I think we should have that shirt. We should have the prizes alive. Be so great. Hey, Eli Smith, man, really good seeing you today. I'm glad I bumped into you up here at the church. Have a great night. Go wake Moxie up for me. Tell the dog I said, hey, throw her in Dad's lap, something like that. Like, do something that gets the dog in trouble, because that's fun. Because I don't have a dog. I need a dog. I need one. Gamer says I'll work on the shirt. It'd be awesome. All right, dudes. I need to head home, see the wife. I think my oldest son is wanting to look at Venus tonight through the telescope, so I think we're going to get that out and check on that. So, and yes, Bella, I will look up Panda Flower. I will do that. I can't do that right this second, but I'll do that before I go to bed tonight. All right, Panda Flower. Don't forget Panda Flowers. Got it. Hey, you guys are awesome. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Miss y'all, love y'all. I will see you again later. New episode of Quarantining with Jesus comes out tomorrow. It's been a week or two, so don't want to miss that. See you guys.